The energy presently is insane, and I've been sitting with it. It's like spirit kept pulling me to like slow down and sit with this message and sit with this message and sit with this message. And I'm just deeply trusting that this is going to find the collective of people that need to hear this the most right now. There's a depth of liminality that is present right now. It's like you breach the surface of a profound clarity with how you perceive your reality and like how to interact with it. And now it's almost like a bit of existential crisis is kind of what's coming through here, where there's this, oh, whoa, and the recognizing of maybe a little bit of how lonely that feels to have profound clarity. And I heard like nobody to share it with, nobody to communicate it with. And there's a lot of different layers to this that are going to kind of come through. So I'm just trusting the pacing of this message. Okay, welcome everybody. If you haven't met me yet, I'm Izzy. I go by 8th House Mercury here because I tell real, raw, honest truth. My other account that's linked down below tells you about the astrology that's happening, and this feels very related to the sun being conjunct Uranus today and just like the buildup of this, like, shh. I literally, and you may be experiencing this too, and I'm just going to kind of share how this has moved through because I feel like this is, we're here in this space where dreams very clear, and then even just observing reality, it's almost like I can see the like strings of fabric and threads tying everything together and like the geometry and like all this stuff. It's so cool. I'm not sure if you guys are seeing that or witnessing that as well. I would love to hear. But there's something about like seeing behind the veil, beyond the veil. It's making me think of Lindsay Sterling. Love her. When I wanted to film this message, Spirit told me to rest and lay down instead of filming because there was more that needed to come through. I didn't really sleep. I just literally felt like I plugged into the collective consciousness and just got downloads. And what was shown to me, and we will be pulling cards as well as far as like direction and just like kind of cutting through the fog, because that's what this feels like, is it's almost like it's working two ways. It's cloaking you, but it's also like you can't see forward. And there's this deeper surrender. And what they showed me in this sort of like in between sleep state in the astral was there's yourself is fracturing. And not to alarm you, not to like create harm or chaos or anything like that. What they showed me is there is a version of yourself that is still deeply threaded into the fabric of like the matrix. Like they literally showed like a person that was like in like a chair with like a helmet on and like being plugged in and like witnessing that. And the higher self of you looking at that version of yourself literally quantumly created a hologram to replace that, and you were able to take like the physical vessel and like take it away. And it was like this like moment of accepting that some people are going to see you in a specific light while you are doing some deeper profound work that some people might just not understand. And it was really intense. There was a lot of chaos. I remember like a lot of sound, sirens, just being different, right? And being monitored as well is coming up. Again, this isn't to cause panic or anything, because literally I just, they were showing it to me for me to witness that like there is a separation that's occurring between a version of yourself that was deeply intermeshed with society at a certain extent, and now you're like okay, what they showed me is like, I'm not sure if you guys have played video games, but it's like you're an admin of the server that we're all plugged into, and so you have like gifts, that, or like, you know, you have admin perms, so you can do a bit more than you thought that you could. And yeah, that is so interesting. And there's something about like not becoming, yeah, and this keeps coming through as well, where it's like something about being like a flaw in the code, right? Something about you, and then you like wake people up, but it's something about keeping it like not quiet, but like under the radar. You're flying under the radar, okay? Very interesting things. And then the song Human by the Killers came through, and I was like, oh, whoa, I haven't heard that song in so long. So I pulled it up right before this. I did my best to notice when the call came down the line. Up to the platform of surrender, I was brought, but I was kind. And sometimes I get nervous when I see an open door. Close your eyes, clear your heart. Cut the cord. Are we human or are we dancer? My sign is vital, my hands are cold. And I'm on my knees looking for the answer. Are we human or are we dancer? And it's really just this profound, like, when you dream of home tonight, there's no message we're receiving. Let me know, is your heart still beating? And there's kind of this feeling, and I feel like the word dancer, a spirit saying like plug in what you would put there, like it's personal, right? It's personal for you. And I'm just connecting and asking like what's the purpose of all this knowledge? It's so that you can inhabit this reality differently. And first off, I want you to know that you're not alone, because all the people that are witnessing this video right now are there too, right? I tend to call in people that are a little bit different, anomalies, kind of flaws in the code, operating different than your familial structures, lineage. Like you're here to like literally transform your DNA into something completely different. And there's sort of this pause that's happening. I heard like a divine pause where yeah, whoa. And they just showed me like a very dramatic like scene almost from a movie, but it's your life, where it's like I see you looking back at everything that has happened up until this point in your life, and it's like choosing to go into the light and be seen. And that is so terrifying, because like there's something about the risk versus reward of like being seen, because you've done a lot of work behind the scenes, that has gone unnoticed, and spirit wants this to go noticed, but that does put you in a space of more vulnerability. Okay. We haven't even pulled any cards yet. I'm fully just channeling at this point. My eyes just drifted up to my vision board, which has, it's been a divination tool now. And I just saw inner compass and the invisible worlds. Like, you are somebody that invites people into inner exploration by just being you, where it's like you, again, trigger a chain response of your energy. Now I want to know, like, what is this fog? The purpose of this, like, hidden energy presently. The Ten of Flames, right? It's completion. Sorry, my nose. I've been like sick, and I can feel a booger, and it's real freaking me out. And I like just being real with you guys, because I'm like, ah. It's 2:22 right now too, and it's the 22nd of May. Interesting. And then 8, we have strength at the bottom. I was just doing some numerology stuff, just adding up like the year. It's 2026. Oh, no, it's a year 10. Oh, interesting. A 10 of flames. I don't know why I got the number 8, but maybe strength just wanted to be shared there. So as far as this fog goes, the 10 of flames, this completion, this shifting, represents fire energy in its highest potency, great strength, optimal ability, and maximum success. However, this can mean that the given condition requires extreme effort. A common trait of the sequence of 10 is the peak, which no further improvement is possible. And that's what I feel like you've reached a point on the path where it's like, it's a dead end and it just looks like a cliff and you just have to like jump. You just have to like free fall and do something radically different, because like, you know, your path so well presently that if you were to continue forward, it would be like looping back around. You'd stay on this loop, and you're getting an opportunity at the peak of the spiral, instead of spiraling back down, to use this momentum to jump into something new. And it is going to take strength. Given the circumstances, require goal-oriented use of the powers to justify their requirements of momentary situation based on outer pleasures, realistic self-assessment. And this is page 222. So twos are significant. Full implementation of power. This kind of feels like a moment at the end of like an anime or something, where the like main character battles it out with like the like it's just like those tense moments where, and then it's like this new evolution, like there's this new version of you that's unfolding. And it's like the start, what does the start of season 2 or book 2 look like for you? And that's what spirit really wants you to recognize here, where it's like you're at this peak. Okay, so what's chapter 2? Not chapter 2. They said season 2 or book 2. Like, it's something on its entire like own thing. It was a lot of cards, but we're gonna explore the High Priestess, the Princess of Spheres, the Five of Spheres, the Nine of Cups, and the Four of Swords. Interesting energy. The High Priestess and Princess of Spheres is like, it's, whoa, they just showed me you were like at the edge of this cliff and then you just phased out. It's almost like you're in holy hell. You're about to be, whoa, I just saw like deleted from people's like memory banks or realities, like whatever excess energy that people were pouring into you that like were from this old reality, gone. Like, I'm seeing like childhood friends where it's not like they're gone, but it's like you're not somebody that's on their radar anymore. Whoa. Oh my God, this friggin' booger. I'm gonna go take care of it. Hold on. All right, we are back in action. It's the sensory experience of being in a human vessel, and now there's a freaking cat hair tickling me. Five of Spheres. I really wanted to look at this because this was the one that's kind of throwing me off, right? There's sort of this like broken, desolate energy. What in one sense can be seen as a reduction can be another sense in an increase. The meaning, oh, I love this card in this interpretation. The meaning of this image lies especially in the building of character, the driving forces of the soul that are transformed by the soul's yearning for spiritual realization, so that the earthly attachments are given up. The baser drives are given up for the sake of higher spiritual values. In times of need and material deprivation, the community either comes together and brings forth warmth and compassion, or it divides people for reasons of egotism and envy, which lead to the fall of humane values. This card is about connecting with that person with whom can develop positive shared traits of character in order to make a new beginning with enthusiastic goal. Finally, a healing circle is indicated with the Five of Spheres, which brings about new beginnings. The remembrance of the powers of nature is one of the major traits. The general theme is growth, whereby one should keep to what's important. What no longer fits the current state of development is discarded and has to be rebuilt. Secondarily, it means evaluating experiences in a positive light and learning from mistakes. Yeah, with the High Priestess and the Princess of Spheres coming out here, to begin with, like they're both like kind of translucent and magical. Like there's something about like you really allowing, because your previous life, the previous chapter, the previous book, whatever you want to kind of call that, and spirit's inviting you to like actually like have that be like a separate entity almost. They're saying like that reality was built on very Capricornian structures. They're showing me like masculine and societal structures, like that version of yourself, and you've been in this sort of liminal space of like bridging the gap of your spiritual vessel, your soul, and how it's inhabited in your body, with that reality. And now you're like at the shifting point where it's like you had this equilibrium for a while, and now it's time to shift into building a new reality from this different inhabitants of your vessel, of your body, and actually letting spirit co-create with you. Because the reason your past sort of experience with reality was so limited was because your human mind was limited, because you weren't tapped into the collective sphere, which gives you more energetic real estate, essentially. And so now you're tapped into that. And so spirit's kind of like, okay, like this is going to be different. And also, the Five of Spheres is really indicating like inviting in like minded people or leaning on spaces or community that those people are living that way. And again, there can be this sort of loneliness when you're traversing. And what I'm seeing is like this, like desolate, like wasteland, kind of like this card is showing here, that you're having to traverse through. So it feels a little bit wild. And I'm seeing the movie, I think it's the Maze Runner part, like, again, I think it's the second one, right? Where they have to traverse to go find these people that they were told were out in the desert or whatever, or like beyond this wasteland. I feel like you're kind of in the midst of that trek. And now I'm thinking of The Alchemist, where he's like in the desert, on the horse, and he trades knowledge. He reads the books of the American, I think he was American, or I don't remember. And he invites like, you're literally getting a flip of the script where you're like now engaging in the world in a whole different way. And then we have the Nine of Cups, and then the Four of Swords, which it's literally like a completely different way of inhabiting. And I feel the frustration of your past self being like, no, we have to go do, 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 we have to build, we have to build, we have to do and build and like create, and very masculine driven energy. And the Nine of Cups and the Six of Swords is like, not six, Four of Swords. Four of Swords points to finding a pathway to inner truth. This can be through decoding unconscious and interpreting dreams, right? Like I literally wanted to do this reading in spirits, like, go lay down. There's nothing you need to do right now. Just lay down. And I laid down and literally like had a bunch of stuff come through. And I was like, oh, cool. So this is how we're doing it now. And this work always changes forms as I continue to grow. This can be through decoding unconscious, interpreting dreams, or reflecting upon the value of past experiences and their evaluation for future undertakings. Whichever form is chosen, it has the goal of returning to a state of natural order. The conditions for this are inner collection and inner concentration. To achieve this inner state of peace, an inner state of peace is necessary in order to recall inherent powers and make use of their possibilities. Spirit just straight up said, there's literally nothing. Like if there's chaos going on around you, I don't feel this reading's for you. Or it's almost like maybe there is chaos, but it's not affecting you. That it doesn't affect your peace because you've created this peace palace. And it's like, this is weird. There's no chaos. There's nothing for me to do or to be done or to create or to manage or to control. And you're just like, literally spirit's like, welcome to your new reality. What would you like to do? It's kind of like they're giving me like an options menu of like, you could paint, you could sleep, you could draw, you could go for a walk, you could dance, you could go, like they're limit, and it's like scrolling. It's like when you're modding like a character in a game and there's just like you downloaded a bunch of mods, like that's literally you being tapped into the collective consciousness. So now you have unlimited access to any experience you want. Welcome to it. Once set free, mental powers can be activated to work against the negative effects of worry and fear. I didn't even read this part. If the inner call to peace and recuperation is ignored, it can be that the body reacts with sickness. Yeah, you guys probably have been feeling some like symptoms of feeling sick or slowed down because literally your body's like literally this morning I slept in more than I normally would. And then I woke up and I was like, I feel groggy. I feel weird. And then I tried doing work, and I was even in the co-working channel in my Discord, by the way, come join if you guys are looking for community. And I just like was so tired. To support the process of becoming more conscious, it's meaningful to use current gifts and talents constructively. These consist of, among other things, the ability to write, teach, and to differentiate. If interactions are brought into the light of conscious thinking, a clear boundary is made to the outer world. And that's really what like is coming through, and it has to do with your joy and your happiness and your like what your inner fulfillment right now. And that's really like what you're moving into, is creating a world that operates not from cognitive thinking, but from like heart-based intuitive response. And it's literally completely different. Just saw 2022 on the timer here, and it is warm where I'm at. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my fan on. I try to resist using my AC for as long as I can because it's gonna get real hot here soon. Ooh, spirit. Okay. They're saying you're not going into this unequipped. Like you're getting something from this. Like it's not a lonely path, but they're seeing like, you know, when you level up in a game, you get like to choose like a weapon or something like that. Like I'm literally seeing the moon is your weapon. Your intuition is on fucking point. Guys, the other day, not even time has been weird for me. Comment down below if it's just been wacky for you. I'm like, I can't even keep track because so much stuff is just like moving through the collective field right now. But I was chatting with my mom and she was telling me about this. One of her friends wanting to like do a little coffee cart with her. And I was like, I would love to like sling some coffees there, you know, because I'm really wanting to like be in the world more. As soon as I said that, I get a notification on my phone from one of my I like frequent this coffee shop, and back in the day I've like applied to work there, and it just like didn't work out because I was starting this, I was doing other things were happening, and I got a message from the owner. It was like, hey, you interested? And I'm like, are you kidding? So that like doors opening, and like your intuition, like, and here's the thing is you could still intuit that and still make different choices. That's what's coming up too. What else? I want 2 more cards for this as far as like your gifts that you're getting. The Wheel of Fortune. I heard like, it's finally your time. And now I'm hearing like, and then I heard slot machines. We have the 10 of Pentacles. And here's the thing is like, the reason, and you know, please use your discernment. I'm and also like you're whatever. I'm not gonna like hold your hands through this. You guys are adults and you have your own experiences. If you're under the age of 18, my content isn't for you. I love you. I work with kids, and I just don't think this knowledge needs to be in your little brains right now. This is like, I just saw like a dragon with a like with a hoard of money. And what's coming through is you're no longer looking at money as like a relevance to like the way you're relating to money or abundance is completely different, and that's why it's coming in, because your previous experience with money was very like, I have to hold on to it. I have to hold on to it. I can't let it go. I can't let it move. I can't let it be. It was ownership. And money doesn't want to be owned. Money wants to work with you and work for you and like have an energetic exchange. It's like when you chase anything desperately, it's going to run away. Relationships, friends, money, opportunities. When you're in a energy of desperation, it reeks. All right? It reeks. And I'm thinking of like No Face from Spirit Away, where it's like all these people were like trying to give and give and give, and the fact that like Kihiro just like completely ignored him because she was like so focused on her mission. It's kind of that, and you get rewarded for it, like in a unique way. But I really do feel this like beautiful, beautiful energy of like abundance coming through, of like, yeah. And it's not going to be in the way that you think. I split to the Tower, and I'm like, oh, interesting. A little just like heads up, like it's not going to be, it's going to be unexpected. And I think the challenge with this level of, and I didn't expect this to go into like an abundance thing, but it's like your needs are going to be met. So what are you going to do with life? And it's sort of that energy of like, you've never let yourself sit and think of what you would do and how you would live your life and be embodied with abundance. And it's like, would you travel? Would you like, I don't know, for me, I'm like, I would still want to like do like local things or volunteer and do stuff and like be engaged in the community and go do things and still run my spaces and do this content and like show up and provide for people that, you know, I feel called to like support and things like that. Like that's, yeah, the Empress. And that's why this is happening for you, because you have that deep, powerful, like feminine energy that is deeply nourishing and nurturing to others too. It's like, this is why Spirit's like, it's your turn to have your cake and eat it too. And we've been baking this cake for a long time. And we've had to like, it's like intuitive baking, which is weird because baking is a science, right? And you've been doing it in a way where like you're following your intuition, and it's like, I see you like they're showing me very tangible things, like, you know, like graining, like milling your own grain and like having like a deep reverence for the process. And that's exactly why this is working out for you. And again, these gifts, the moon, the wheel of fortune, and the 10 of pentacles, 10 of spheres, your intuition is literally guiding you exactly where you need to go. Ace of cups too. Like, it's a new start that I don't think you're, again, kind of wrapping back to the start of this reading, that version of you that was deeply plugged into the matrix. Like, I don't think that version of you could even fully grasp this. And that's why you're being asked to like really like let that version go and like integrate like the physical aspect and the knowledge that they accumulated, but like let that hologram hold the place for other people. Cause some people are still going to see you as that past version. Gosh, I'm yapping and I'm dehydrated. They're going to see you as that past version of you, but you're no longer attached to their perception. Okay, just a last card to wrap up this reading. And I'll read this from the book, they said. Okay. Okay, interesting. We got 2 fives. 5 of cups and 5 of swords. Interesting. 2 fives, change. And also it's like a change of how you perceive things, right? Because we had gotten the 5 of spheres as well. So the 5 of cups, constant growth and further development are guaranteed in the central circle of nature if all elements are in harmonious balance with each other. Things cannot experience constant increase. If the lake is full to the brim, it will run over. It is not the objects of the material world which hinder man in his advancement, but the emotional attachment to them. There's more to be let go of in your emotional terrain. Trusting in the process that holds everything in a whole. The cups empty themselves, yet in the infinity of the universe, nothing is too little, nothing is too much. What is viewed on one hand as a loss is seen on the other hand as a gain. Trusting in the process that holding everything as a whole in balance puts us in the position of being able to let go and give up one hand so that something can grow and flourish in the other. Only when we have let go of jammed feelings are the conditions for a free-flowing life guaranteed again. There's emotions that might be stagnant where it's like you're Spirit saying like, feel the feelings, feel the like grief, like of the life ending, of things moving, of things changing. It's not until feelings of sadness and pain are accepted and experienced rather than repressed that it's easy to let go of them. The transformation happens in the moment when, free of those burdensome emotions, we're ready to greet the new. And then the 5 of swords. Interesting. The 4 of swords indicates a path to inner truth. The 5 of swords indicates obtaining that wisdom with a sense of further development and growth. It becomes unavoidable to a certain development phase for the individual to fight for this wisdom under the contrary circumstances. Sometimes the experience of pain and suffering is necessary. In the circle of life and death, everything follows its natural path. The intelligence of nature does not know good or bad. In the limitless reaches of the universe, nothing is lost, nor is there any overabundance. Life itself is formless. One is indestructible, while diversity, outer forms, is constantly subject to change. Thinking in greater dimensions gives insight to the deeper connections of life and make so many conflicts unnecessary that under circumstances could end up in a painful experience. Here, the ability to obtain deep insights from difficult situations can be developed by putting together the quintessence of thoughts and experiences as well as the corresponding consequences. The meaning finally lies in the fertile evaluation of the obtained realizations. That's like one of your greatest superpowers, is to like go through adversity and change and still like I feel like this is something that you've mastered, is what they're saying at the end here. Like, you can go through tough things, you can witness hardship, go through hardship, and still like the thing that you've mastered and why this is coming through is because you've allowed yourself to feel the feelings and to learn from intensity, from diversity, from consequence, right? Like I'm seeing like a little kid putting their hand on the stove, like the consequence of that, like your hand, when parent says don't do that and you do it because you're learning your limits, right? And you've been testing your boundaries with life, and the consequences have shown you things, and now you're in this space where it's like, you've got this higher perspective and continuing to release the emotions, right? The emotional piece was what I feel like you had mastered, this Five of Swords energy of understanding things, but now you're really in the terrain of like letting the emotions of witnessing the change and transformation be released. Okay. I'm going to leave this here. As always, if this resonated with you, liking, subscribing, commenting, all those things helps the channel's growth and builds this community space that we're all cultivating in. And I deeply appreciate you. If you want to work with me, all of my offerings are linked down below. We've got a lot of different things going on, so definitely check them out. I love you guys.